Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Analysis Desk. My name is Bart. His name is Tom. His name is Kevin. His name is Scott.
Right.
And we know a lot about esports, probably more than you. And so we're going to tell you about all the things that we picked, why we picked them, and who we think's going to win in this upcoming weekend. So we have 6 matchups coming this weekend, and we're going to try to break this down for you in a pretty quick fashion to give you an idea of kind of what we're thinking, why we're thinking it, and how we got to those conclusions where it makes sense. So the first matchup, obviously, was that London Conspiracy vs. Titan match. Well, we know what happened there. We also know that Cloud9 Denial went down, and we all picked Cloud9 to win that, and Cloud9 did win that in 2. Yep. Titan did beat London Conspiracy in 2 as well. So the remaining matchups, it's Trig Fnatic, TSM AFK, Enemy versus Eager, Stars versus Epsilon, Dig versus Nox, and Cog versus Legion. That's a mouthful.
Damn. Yeah.
A lot of action this weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to be some tired boys.
That's expansion, boys.
Yeah.
And DM, congratulations on getting married.
Yeah.
Proud of you, buddy.
Way to leave us out on an island for a big power week, but congratulations on your merit or your upcoming nuptials, and I think honeymoon in Japan for Brandon.
Yeah, for quite a while.
Good for him.
Yeah,
I'm not jealous.
It's a 3-year honeymoon, I think.
Dude, you can beat him to the tier list now, bro. It can be the Adonis tier list.
I'm taking
Shout
it
outs
over.
to like
Taking it
Big
over.
Con or whoever does all the just do their own. Okay, so let's talk Trig Fnatic, guys. This is really one of the premier matchups this weekend. For the Trig Fnatic, let's take a look at the community pick for this.
Yep.
All the season ticket holders, they got Fnatic going 2-0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have Fnatic 2-0, you have Fnatic 2-0, you have Fnatic 2-0. Scott Gandhi has a 50-50. What do you got, dude?
Here's my entire spiel on the Trig versus Fnatic matchup.
Okay.
Trig is infinitely better online, is what we realized in the spring split.
No question.
I think that Xayah and the entire team just feels more comfortable online, and I think Fnatic's kind of just going to go home after the LAN. Of course, Europe's completely disappointed. Everyone's disappointed with their performance at the LAN, but I think Trig will split it. I think they always shine online. I'm expecting them to continue that the exact same way throughout the split.
Now, game 1 or game 2? Like, do you think that it's a Trig has to win game 1 sort of thing? Like, or do you think they can win game 2? Or
I think they just take game 2.
They take game 2.
I think Fnatic just comes out, beats them in like 35 minutes, and then it kind of goes into the Trig lineup, and they draft some kind of janky composition that they've come up with, and Xayah decides that Naja solo's a thing all of a sudden, and he just
some random
steamrolls.
assassin.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want for this matchup for First Blood to come before 20 minutes, like it was when they played.
That was it, wasn't it?
them.
It was 20 minutes and 30 seconds.
That was tough.
The longest First Blood.
So we have, also quickly, the Ratatasker reveal page is up and ready for you guys, and it's really amazing. You saw how Alpwash was. Well, we've gone above and beyond that for Ratatasker. Patch notes are available as well on Reddit and the forum. So all that stuff coming through, so be sure to enjoy that as we move into the next matchup, which will be TSM versus AFK, the other kind of premier matchup this weekend between top seeds. So I have this splitting, as does Scott. So we both have this as a 1-1. Tom, how do you have this one?
I have this one going the way of TSM because Zapman's not here.
Right, yeah, okay.
Or because Allied's not here, my mistake.
Yeah.
No, Allied actually will be playing.
He will
Oh,
be?
really?
Yeah, he was actually able to pick up a laptop, like a super high-performing one, so he could like play it at Brandon's wedding or whatever.
All right,
Oh, that's awesome.
So the background is Allied is actually in New Jersey, of all
I don't
places.
The armpit of America.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Allied is in New Jersey visiting DM Brandon for his wedding. Even if he's on a laptop, it's just not the same as being home. So because Allied's sort of outside of his natural habitat, I'm going to go Team Solo Mid.
Kevin?
Okay.
I feel the same way. I think Allied is going to suffer slightly because he's not in a comfortable situation, but also because Team Solo Mid is just so dominant at online, right? They haven't lost 2 matches in a row online since Cog Red was picked up.
Yeah. They've been very they've been the most consistent team.
Yeah, for sure.
No question. Although they do have some inconsistency in their roles, Divios has kind of swung up and down pretty drastically, honestly, over the last.
So
few
you
months.
guys don't think the LAN was enough to propel AFK above TSM? I mean, they won it pretty
I have it
handily.
50-50. I do think AFA takes 1 game off TSM, but I don't think it's something that they will be able to do consistently.
Okay. I could see that.
I mean, even at the LAN, right? They went back and forth. But let's move into the next one, where it's, again, another match out of North America. It's Enemy versus Eager. And, well, in this one, Kevin, I want your opinion as, well, you used to play with a lot of these players as they're on the come-up. Enemy, some roster changes. Eager, some booze, I'm sure. But
it's interesting, right?
How do you have this one?
Enemy lost Bronx Bombers, who was kind of their highlight player from the spring split. but I'm going to have to give it a split. I think they're going to take one game. Zapman's gone. He's out of town. It's going to be Kabam filling in, who I think is good, but he's not Zapman.
Well, the community's picking Eager, and so is the rest of the panel. So, Kevin,
I've got a 50-50. I'm playing it safe, okay? I just got to play this one safe. I don't know.
If anything, Aurora's just going to be happy that he doesn't have to deal with like a Hunter diving level 2 for no reason.
Right,
so he's going to sit back and be like, oh, I'm not stressed. This
even
is
without
great.
Zapman.
Maybe we'll see the return of Finra. Maybe he'll be the aggressive one in the lane.
My God.
It's changed everything. So, moving on to Sunday now, where in Europe we have, well, what, at least according to the community as well as all of our analysts, will be a very one-sided matchup. Epsilon versus Stars, across the board wipe. In fact, the only matchup that we have that all of us are agreeing, it's Epsilon over Stars. Tom, how do you have this one so much in favor of Epsilon?
I mean, so upcoming Stars, they were on an uptrend towards the end of the season. That said, they were at the bottom of the SPL. Epsilon was at the top of the Challenger Cup, and I think that there's a little bit of overlap there.
Okay.
All right, I think the strength of our #1 Challenger Cup team, Epsilon, sort of is in the middle of where our SPL teams are. I think we saw that in the Challenger Cup itself, as well as the qualifier matches. We really saw a lot come out, and the names, the Raffer, all these people, they just barely missed the SPL last time around.
Yeah,
I think they have what it takes.
Adapting is an amazing player on the team. I mean, that's the guy.
This guy's God.
Yeah.
This guy is fantastic in the jungle role. He's definitely top 3 in Europe, in my opinion.
He's for sure up there, and he's really been so close to being at the highest levels multiple times.
Yeah.
I5 just barely missing out originally.
Oh, I thought you were going back to Tribes.
Oh, yeah.
Tribes just barely making it up.
Barely missing Tribes.
I don't know him from that far back, but he's had multiple times where he just barely missed out on playing with the highest levels.
Right.
Yeah, and now has some really, really strong. I mean, Raffers was really at the top of his game in Europe.
For sure.
Raffer's an interesting character, right? Because he's basically like the best player in the world for 10 minutes and then not very good after that.
Please.
Well, that was the definition of it in
That's what he
season
was.
1, right?
I mean, that's what he was
He
in
was
season 1.
fantastic in 15 minutes in the jungle role, and then it was like, wait, do you suck?
How are you 4 levels behind? When did that happen? But so I'll ask you the hard question, Scott, as we move on to Dignitas versus Nox.
Okay.
So Tom was saying, he thinks Epsilon fits in the kind of middle of the rung. Is Epsilon better than Dignitas?
See, this is weird for me, just because Dignitas, there were so many times where in the qualifiers for season 2, we all kind of agreed like they might not make it.
Poppies was like,
yeah. They
had that.
Poppies looks good. They had the unfortunate disconnect, but even still, I think Dignitas is this team who eventually something's going to click, and they're going to get better. I really think they are, but in Summer Split, I'm giving it to Epsilon. I have the sky's the limit for this team. I think they're the hungriest in Europe, and I think they're only going to get better from here.
Well, it's Dignitas versus Night's Watch. That's the second game out of the Sundays. And, well, we're pretty split on this one, so we'll go down the line. The community does have Dignitas here.
Yep.
I have this split between the Night's Watch and Dignitas. I think Dignitas is just wildly inconsistent. But I want to send it over to Tom and then F. Tom and then F. Take it, buddy. I know. Tom and then Kevin on, you have Night's Watch, right? And you have Dignitas. Scott's 50-50 because he's scared.
Naturally.
I'm 50-50.
Yeah, he's 50-50.
Oh, you're 50-50.
Scott has
Scott actually picked somebody this time. See, I was so in disbelief.
I got Eager. I got Cloud9.
I was so in disbelief that you picked somebody. Okay, so but yeah. Tom, give me your 2-minute breakdown on Nox, and Scott, I want to hear it for Dignitas as to why you think this matchup goes either way.
I agree with you. Dignitas is wildly inconsistent. With that said, I think Night's Watch are just going to come out of the gates ready to show that NQ, he's not rusty from not playing. Moex, he was on the old team of Mortality that almost did it. They were very strong, and then all of a sudden they just sort of faltered.
Yeah.
Like the jokes you were making about Raffer.
Sure.
Right? Very, very similar. So I think that I hate to say, they're the hungry team, but they have everything to prove. Whereas Team Dignitas, really, they haven't performed in qualifiers, really. They just sort of eked out.
They haven't. That's true.
So I think that Night's Watch have a little bit more to prove, and because of that, I'm expecting them to come out of the gates like a battle.
They're going to be more hungry.
I got the flip side of that with the same argument. I think Dignitas is in this spot where they go, everyone thinks we're not good.
Right.
That's it, right?
Well, they nearly lost to the lowest seeded Challengers Cup team.
Possible.
Yeah.
But that also means that they play down to their competition, which seems to be a recurring trend across all of Smite. A lot of teams have this problem where they're going against this team who's very low, and they're like, you know what, screw it. we'll be able to win this one. These guys aren't on our level.
Yeah, Frezzy was actually spam taunting in one of the games, almost threw it.
Yeah.
He almost threw it, but for no reason.
I will say one of my... I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I really think Dignitas should be able to come out on top of this. I think Night Watch, yeah, they're great to add into the SPL, but overall, I don't think they're on that level.
One of my key points for this match before I hand it back is solo lane. I think that NQ at one point was the best solo laner in the world. Is that still the case? That's a conversation. Is variety? No.
Right.
And I think right now there's a lot of competition in the solo lane, especially in Europe, and I really expect NQ to win this matchup, and we'll see what his team can do with that advantage in the solo.
It's actually, the Dignitas situation is in many ways similar to what Titan has just kind of gone through, right? Confrig not considered the best player on the team. Adder actually wants to play solo lane. Let's switch them up. Let's see how it goes. And it seemed to work out well for them. I doubt we'll see Youngmay making a transition into the solo lane anytime soon. But, you know, it's a little bit of a similar situation. And yeah, for me and for Kevin, you know, we have this as a 50-50 split. And I think that this is going to be one of the closer games that we're going to have. But the Night's Watch, like, they didn't really have much success in the Challengers Cup. Right? I mean, like, do they really know how to win? Right? They beat a lot of teams that were way worse than them, in theory, right? Sure. In the open bracket, but then consistently were unable to overtake Epsilon. Do we, where do they fall in that? If Epsilon's better than Dig, is Dig really better than Night's Watch?
I want to make one point on this.
Do you, Kevin?
Just one, just a single point.
You have one sentence.
6 words.
Run-on sentence.
I got comments.
I'm with you. Dignitas is inconsistent. I think it's inconsistency versus raw talent that doesn't have the synergy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I'm giving 50-50, and I think both games are going to be really close no matter which way it goes in the end.
So that takes us into our last game here, guys, and well, hopefully we've given you some insight into help you get your fantasy points online, and you're getting some, I guess, suggestions for what you should pick. Did anybody not get all of yesterday's games right? You did not get them all right, and you didn't get them all right.
We both went.
Did you get them all right?
Duo.
Baby.
I had split the first set, which did not get split.
So I got them all right. So you should vote for what I voted for. Is what I'm telling you here.
Well, there was this one time in the spring final land that
Scott got called AFK in 3 or in 4. That was
European
1 out of 50.
relegations last year. I got every single match correct down to the game.
But to be fair, also, I did have a bet with Hinduman, who still owes me money if you're watching this, that I said Europe would not win more than 4 games, and they only won 4 games.
But did he pay you with a bow tie? Maybe. Let's move on to the final game for the weekend, guys. It's from North America, and this is another similar game. It's a big statement game. It's Cognitive versus the Legion of Carrots, as they call themselves now, which...
Pretty cool logo.
It's a little awesome. I wouldn't say it's big awesome. It's a little awesome.
Yeah, it's
an okay logo.
It's the idea.
Shout outs to Danish Dragon who made that. He actually did a lot for the community.
It is cool. Yeah, a lot of that kind of vectorized, kind of minimalist style stuff.
Yep.
And it's way better than like Slam Jam City's logo, but it's not the best logo.
Is it better than Fat Chunks assembles though?
Yes, it is.
Pecky's is so happy.
Pecky's loves that Slam Jam City logo. I have to take the shots. Let's talk about the picks. The community, they have Cognitive. I have Legion in this one, and the reason I have Legion in this one is because I think DJ Pernicus will finally play consistently well for 2 games. And if he doesn't, I will probably never pick this team again. Because they just live and die by that jungle role, it seems like, does Legion. And, well, after that, you also have them in 2 games. Give me a little bit of a reason why.
I think Legion is incredibly strong.
Yeah, I think so, too.
If I had to end my analysis there, I'd be okay with it. I just think they're a super strong team, as you said. A lot of it's on DJ Pernicus's plate, but I think this format fits well with him. It's just 2 games. There's no pressure to win the 3-game series. It's not a 9-hour day like the Challenger Cup. Right. So I think this really works well, and I'll be dead honest. I just don't know how much oomph Cognitive has.
Yeah, I feel the same way. They've definitely seemed beatable, and what they don't have that many of the other teams do have, right? The Eager, even another Challengers Cup team, but big North American teams like TSM, Cloud9, right? These players that have that kind of aura of I'm better than you, right? We had this discussion yesterday, right? And Cognitive, who is it, right? Is it Jigs? Is it Mask? Homofay, right? Oh, obviously it's not Mask, but
not
like
Mask.
Homofay. And Homofay is a very good player, right? But are you going to be scared like you would be if it's Andenster that's rotating on?
Right. I think this team, I think Cognitive, as we go forward into the season, is dependent on Homofay, whatever you want to call him, getting that aura.
The Iron Homie.
Exactly. That's what I've been calling him. Thank you for learning that one. Homie getting that aura, nurturing it, and becoming that player for this
Right,
team.
yeah.
It's entirely up to him and his team to nurture him and make him the guy. Because as you said, they don't have the guy. And does that work? Sort of. Titan didn't make it to
This is
land.
turning into like the playoff basketball conversation. Like, you need a superstar to win. sort
Yeah,
of thing,
but
right?
like,
It's very true. Smite's similar, 5-on-5.
on the same side, though, cognitive gaming,
well, you got this 50-50, Scott, so...
of course I got a 50-50.
So,
There's not going to
doesn't
be
he
a
have
single
50-50?
prediction. It'll just be like AFK will come back and it'll just be
both teams are really good, and I think
Scott-
that...
it'll
Scott
just
is
be 2-0
guaranteed to get 4
AFKs.
right.
And I'll just be super biased and everything, and like as soon as Ali comes back, I'll be like AFK 2-0.
Yeah.
2 Eager will always be a 2-0, right? Like just bandwagon completely. I've learned my lesson from hockey.
Okay.
I'm just gonna bandwagon every week.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for the Rangers?
No.
All right,
no.
Kevin, you do have cognitive,
Okay.
though, into why are they beating Legion 2-over? I mean, that's...
I think Eager and Cognitive Gaming are similar skill level, and Legion could not be Eager one time during the Challengers
Okay.
Cup. I think they're going to be the weaker
That's fair.
team. One thing, too, is this is not... I don't know this. I'm assuming this based on reactions from the players after the mask situation happened. I think they're going to be more comfortable heading into the summer split with home FA. I don't know if that's true. That's the feeling I got from them. And I think comfort's going to be a big thing once you're at the higher levels. You look at Titan, right? They made the role swap. Ataraxi is a really good hunter. Confrey was a really good soul laner, but it doesn't matter. They weren't comfortable. They weren't having fun.
Right.
And I think that's going to help Cog. And I think Legion is good, but I don't think they're cognitive good.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, who do you think they are? Are they better than the new enemy roster?
I think they're bottom 3 right now. I think it's enemy, Legion, and a 2B determined. And I think the first 2 weeks are going to be defining if they can
Okay.
make it to the middle of the bracket.
Look at you, man. You are swinging.
Yeah.
I like it.
Put his analysis.
You got to be more like me and just assume that everyone's good.
Everyone's gonna
50-50, I'm
split.
getting some games.
Every,
No risks.
Everyone is good.
Well, guys, we do have a sweet, like, kind of entire graphic for everything that we've picked, as well as Hindu Man's picks, which I guess we'll rattle off for the record here. He's got a 50-50 on Trick Fnatic. He's got TSM beating AFK. He's got Eager over Enemy. He's got Epsilon over Stars. He's got a 50-50 for Dignox and Cog Legion, in case you care what Hindu Man thinks.
Banta.
He's like, Scott, look at all those 50-50s.
I know.
Just like,
You
He
guys.
gets it.
I don't know, man. Just
You
roll-
need, you need some chutzpah.
He gets it though.
We're gonna
He
go.
just split it.
We're just going to call the participation award the
Yeah. You and Hindu Man are tied for the participation award
Dude,
now.
I'm fine with it. It'll just be like my face on a trophy, like
Yeah,
a thumbs
yeah,
up.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be
Savage.
half day raise participation award.
Half day.
All right, guys, that does it for our prediction show, the Pick'ems show, if you will, and that takes us into the next segment of Fun Time Smite Shenanigans coming your way. It's the Xbox One stream. That's going to be Scott, Amanda. Looks like Sweet David's over there as well. My man,
Ugly cat lady.
Ugly Cat Lady himself in the flesh, and they're going to be playing some Xbox, giving away just way too much stuff, I'm sure. Founders packs, beta codes.
I got to
Anything else
the things.
exists? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe an
Skin
Elgato.
codes.
Yeah, some skin codes.
Not an Elgato. Not a relax.
No,
Look, I know we're excited, but jeez.
We just entered closed beta, step by step.
We're giving away an Alienware. What?
So yeah, it is closed
People are
beta.
gonna expect that now. You just
Yesterday,
messed
right?
up.
Yesterday was closed beta stuff
Yeah.
for Xbox One. So open beta, I'm sure, coming down the line as well. But get involved as early as you can, as you know, in Smite. Things like Kako Demon, right, was part of the beta period. So you definitely want to get in as early as you can. That does it for the desk here today, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for the patch notes as well as this analysis show and onto the Xbox. If you want to see more about the patch notes or the patch, you can find that stuff on Reddit or our official forums. And we will see you guys next week for our next set of predictions. So have a blessed weekend.